Hello and welcome to the Wikipedia Weekly Network, where me and Albin are editing Wikidata Live. Today is a little bit special. We have a Wiki Loves Monuments theme. Hello, Albin. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. I haven't done much Wiki Loves Monuments myself. I have mainly been working on some technical things around it to make it work, and I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm gonna do my first Wiki Loves Monument upload this year.
All right. Very cool.
And you, what will you be doing, Jan?
I think I hinted about it in a previous show when you showed off the Around service. I have been using that as a tool both to add data on Wikidata, but also find errors.
Right.
Yes. But before going that, I want to credit this awesome video by Victor Grigas that we had in the preview. You can go here and see all the information about it. It's a great video. I love it. It also shows off the Wiki Loves Monuments so well.
Indeed.
So I'm going to start sharing my screen here, like this. So here we have the Wikidata query service. And what I'm going to do today, as I mentioned previously in a show, I'm going to try to find monuments that are close to each other. And I'm going to see if one has an image and one not, and see if perhaps you can see one of them in the other.
Right.
So that's the goal, to manage to do that. But usually when I run this query, you can also find all other sorts of errors, like duplicate coordinates or something like that. So we're going to see what we find today. So I'm going to start here from scratch, but I'm going to do heavy use of the autocomplete if I can find my window. There it is. So I'm using the control spacebar to enable the autocomplete, and I use the second one here to get my base skeleton for a query. And I'm actually immediately going to add another service, and that's going to be the labeling service, because I'm going to find out the names here, and I'm going to switch these ones from the auto language, because I already set mine to English. Keep the English, but also if it doesn't find one, go with the Swedish one. Because I'm going to focus on Swedish monuments, because I think that's where I have any chance to see if things are right or wrong. And I'm going to start with a number of variables here, because I know a little bit of what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a monument. So I'm going to just name that monument. And since I know I'm going to look for two different ones, I'm just going to add one. So this is going to be my base one. And I know that this one will have a coordinate. So I'm going to ask for a coordinate, and I'm also going to put one. And I'm only interested in the ones that have an image. So these are the ones that I want from my first monument. And then, of course, I want a second monument, so we'll name that monument 2. And unsurprisingly, to know if they're close to each other, this one also needs to have a coordinate. So I'm going to call that coordinate 2. And I think that's more or less what I'm going to need for this query. So I need 2 monuments, 2 coordinates, and 1 image.
Will you need to select the labels as well?
That was my entire purpose of adding the labeling service. Thank you. So we'll go with autocomplete here, and you just add label with capital O, and it will sort it out. And I'll add the other one over here. Monument 2 label. Thank you for reminding me, Albin. Right, so that's a number of them. And we'll start with, just see, like the monument 1. It's going to have the property, and to select them here, I'm going to use external identifier for the Swedish Open Cultural Heritage. It's something like that. So I'm going to start typing Swedish and press Control spacebar and see what do we have here. Yes, the second one. Swedish Open Cultural Heritage URI. And I don't care about this value at all. I just want to know it has one. So I'll do a little like this. So accept any value for it. And we're going to ask for something else. We're going to ask for the coordinate location. Yes, that's the one I want. P625. I want to save this one to the coord 1 that I defined. And finally, the image. And image, yes, P18.
Right.
So that's all I want from my first monument. The external identifier to know that it actually is a monument, the coordinate, the image, the label has already been taken care of through the service. And then we're going to do the magic here then. So this is another service that you're calling for. And it's actually also in this list. And it's called Wikibase :around. And it's an awesome service. You can use it for all sorts of interesting things.
Yes.
And here it's very helpful because it adds a couple of things that it's going to need to be able to actually run this service. Unfortunately, they have some generic names, which is not the same that I have. So the thing that is called place here, that's going to be one of my monuments. So I'm going to go with monument 2 for this one. Could probably go monument 1. It shouldn't really matter, but I'll go for 2 here. And of course, this one doesn't have a location as the coordinate, but coord 2, like I defined it in the beginning. And here's the tricky one. Here, you used this one, the outer coordinates last time,
Yes.
and it tried to get something and got something else. I'm not going to use the outer coordinates. I'm going to define this one.
So just to explain, outer coordinates will try to figure out your location from where you're querying.
Yes.
For those who aren't familiar.
Yes, and it's going to use some service, ask the web browser, like, where are you? And the web browser has a few ways to figure it out. It varies, like if you're on a phone, it uses probably a finer detail. Otherwise, it's used Wi-Fi or IP address or something like that. But here I actually know where it is, or I don't know, but I have defined it as the place where one of the monuments is. And this is going to be the coord 1 then. So center from the coord 1, and then we're feeding the other coordinate to it. And here's the radius, and this is actually in kilometers. So this is a little bit big. This is going to be quite a long one. So I'm also thinking, if I want to see things in the same image, it can't be very far away from each other to be meaningful. So I'm going to go with 0.01, which is 10 meters. And I figure that might need to go bigger, might need to go smaller.
Let's try it. I imagine if you put a too big value as well, it will time out. There will be a lot of responses.
Yeah. And then we can probably help our service out a little bit here by actually defining, we don't want everything that's close to the first one. So we're going to make sure that this second one is also, actually, I'm just going to do it like this to be easy. I'm going to copy.
Right.
I want this to also be a monument.
Do you want to move this statement before the service to make sure that it executed your first filtering on that and then doing the Wikibase around?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I've been playing around a little bit.
Okay.
And it seems like this is what works for me to not get it to time out.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it has been varying around the day. So the first time I did it, I had it before. So we'll see. So I'm probably just about on the limit here. So we'll.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a really neat query.
Yes. And then, of course, if my second monument has an image, I don't care. Then the job is already done. So I'm going to go for a minus, and my monument 2, and if it has, and I'm seeing from the top there, this P18, I don't care if it has anything at all. If it has something, I don't want it.
Right.
And I think this is my query. I'm going to take a look. Now I wrote everything this in a go. Usually when I do this, I like stop and try it out in between a little bit, but I've been practicing this all day. so I'm fairly sure this is something. We'll see. It's probably going to time out just because I seem so confident. Oh, the tension when it runs.
This is always the. We need a drum roll here of someone.
Yeah, we need to add that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard something. So 381 results seems quite good.
Yeah.
And let's see if I can scroll down. Now it's I zoomed in so much I don't get this in a nice table, but I don't think that really gonna matter because I'm gonna switch here. And this is the awesome thing. In this little eye, we have some different visualization methods, and it actually will enable everything that it thinks it can handle. It might not, like if you didn't define your query properly, it might output something strange. But I'm going to go for the easy one. I'm going to go start with the image grid just to see what we get. And
yay.
So here we have a couple of things, and we can see some typical things here that the city and the church has the same coordinate. So I'm just going to skip those. Wait, why do I get the city? Shouldn't my...
Might it have more than one instance of? Or something like that?
Yes, but I defined it as it should have the...
Oh, that's true.
I'm going to take a look at that one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It might have two Swedish Open Cultural Heritage.
So this is... Oh, maybe... Oh.
No,
this is nice. So all right. So
right.
This is a generic kind of identifier. So we're going to get some extra here. So it actually has the definitions of some administrative territories in it.
Yes.
All right. So we'll
I
just
added those.
keep those. You added those. Let's see if we can get something that seems... So here we have something. Well, I'm going to go back here because we get something for free here. In this query, it also just outputs the dist, which is the distance in between these.
Right.
It's going to be in kilometers, so I think it will round it down to 0 all the time. So I'm going to multiply it by 1,000. I'll find the dist times 1,000 to get it to meters as, and I'll call this one distance.
Right.
And put it up here, and then we can actually see how many meters apart they are in Wikidata, and will give us some sort of clue. See if it shouldn't be much harder because I'm not querying anything more, and this should be a trivial computation.
Yeah, it already got it.
Ah.
So to say.
So it's just rendering here. Yes. Seems like it could leverage some sort of cache here.
Yeah, I think it
half the time.
Can cache partially queries.
Yep. Very nice.
Nowadays.
And we'll switch to the image grid here again. And now we're going to see 3 meters here, 0 meters. Oh, I could probably order these as well.
Right, yeah.
But now at least we see these have the exact same coordinates, or at least rounded to that. Let's see what these can be. So these might be the actual building, and the other one could be the ensemble. Yes. So this is sort of an artifact from how the building heritage register in Sweden is. So this is not actually wrong. We're just going to skip it for now. And we're going to probably have a few of these. More interestingly are those that are like, well, these are probably the same as well. Let's see. Here we have something more interesting. So here we have something that's named like a stone and a church.
Right.
Probably a rune stone in the church. That's very common in Sweden. And it's probably in the church as well. So we're not going to see it in this image. So I'm going to just scroll down and see if I can get something more. So you're not always. This is very interesting. All right, this is the city as well. This was interesting because I took the photo. And here we have an aerial photo. Of course, I'm not going to think that we're actually going to be able to use it for a runestone.
Right.
But here is something that might be. So here we have something that's, I don't know the English term for this kind of tombs.
It's a type of megalith.
Yes. And the other one is a type of mound. And it might be both in the same picture here. So I'm going to open these up. And let's see what. I don't have any nice. I'm not very well versed in this. So let's see. Yes, nice. And let's hope.
Ouch.
This is probably not going to work because it's going to download an RDF for me.
Yes, it will.
So I'll copy this and I'll manually add in. Is it after lämning?
Yes,
HTML?
/HTML, right.
And this is not easy for people to know, but now I actually go to the actual tomb here, the description about it. So yes, 27-meter wide tomb. We can see here that both of them here are also very close. So it's probably registered as two different things, but like for a layman, you just see one thing in the reality.
Right.
So I'm going to also see here the images part, see if we have anything. Not really.
Let's double check that they aren't duplicates in this case.
Yes, so because we'll go to the other one here.
Had a modern identifier.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see if you go to that, if you end up on the same URL.
Yep, we'll see. And we'll add an HTML here as well. Boom, boom. So this one went to Karleby 59. Oh, so it is actually a duplicate.
Yes.
Ooh. So this was a good find then.
Yeah, those are duplicates, should be merged.
Yep. So we'll go back here. Oh, they have different labels though. What do you think about that? Or did they?
I assume they have more than one name.
Oh, here's this. This is in Swedish, but it's in English. So if I merge them, it will actually keep them both. So I can start with that. We're not going to lose any information. So
no.
I have enabled in my settings the merge tool. So I'll copy this queue number, go head over to the other one, and I'll get a little drop down here, merge with. and I'll paste it in here. And we want to merge into the older, and we'll keep track of it. I can see which one has most. I think one is there. So I'll just press merge here. You usually don't do this. You do it a little bit more manual.
I do it with a special page for merging things.
Yeah. I have trust in this tool. I don't know if it's well.
I have trust in the tool as well. I just haven't learned it yet or found it.
All right. Oh, we got a question here as well from James. How does the map view render results with 2 coordinates each? Oh, that's a good question. So we can actually just switch here and see. So I'll head back over to my query service, scroll back up here, and flip this one to the map. And I think we're just going to see, like, it's going to look like it's a lot of simple dots, but there's going to be 2 dots in every place here. So if I click or something, oh no, I merged them to one line. So is there 2 dots here? No.
Yeah, there might be, but they are within 10 meters.
Yes.
It's 2.
Yes, and they're gonna have, I guess, the same information in them.
Yes.
Yeah. And you could probably do something more clever with colors here as well. I haven't really thought about it, but yeah. So let's see if I can finish. So I did finish this merge. All right.
Yeah.
So just see if something. All right. So now we don't gonna need both of these. So which one should I keep?
How the coordinates can have changed.
No, so they were like 3 meters from each other, and one of them. This is probably the official one. This is imported from the monuments database.
Yeah. And the other one is imported.
It's from German Wikipedia. So I'm just gonna remove this one. It's not really needed.
Makes a lot of sense.
So remove it. Boom. Might be in both. Yes.
Yes, that's very true.
And then is the question.
That's very.
This one was the newer.
No, that's the older one, but it should still be there. It's fully
it should
valid.
Still be there. All right.
As soon as Wiki Loves Monuments is over and we won't break things, I will add a rank to it.
All right.
To make sure that it's deprecated.
Right. So useful already. Managed to do a merge there. I think we can find something more interesting as well. Where we were down there. I'm going to scroll a little bit quicker here because I think there's a nice pair here which I caught earlier. Or maybe yes. Here we have a couple of nice ones. Hogbards stones or something like that. And these are actually a series or a number of different monuments close to each other.
Right.
And I'm not sure where I'm going to enter. Let's start with the image, actually. Can I? No, I don't want to. I want to go to Commons first, just to give you a sense. So here, there are 2 large stones here. And you can see here, there's some concentric circles. That's actually another one in the monuments register. So
really?
It has its own thing here. So I think these have been over various times. And let's see. Yes. So here they actually mentioned 127, but they're also a very nice commons category here. And I was flicking this through before. Some of the images are nice, and some of them are like older from very much older.
Yes.
And you can also see here, this is interesting how the road has changed over time.
Yeah, we can see the church in the background.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
very interesting.
yes. That's pretty cool.
Gives a view of where the
Yeah.
stones once were.
Yeah. But there was one image here that so this one was the one used there. This one was used. This one from, and here's something. So from this, so there's one of these that doesn't have an image, and you can see many of them have. So we're gonna find, is it this one or is it the opposite? This one was the one that had an image, so not that one. This one.
But they have
Unfortunately,
do they have
yeah.
the identical label?
Yes, I think this label here has been, and then in the description you actually have the
Right.
differences.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it.
It works.
It sort of works.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna open this in a new and add the HTML so I actually can read, because I'm not a machine that can read RDF.
There is a user script for that
Ah,
particular service.
yes. Oh, and here Kurt asked, can you share the tiny URL? I'm going to share it immediately, because so you can follow along and play with it if you want to. So I'm going to go back up here. You have this nice little link thing here. So this one is the short URL to the result. But I guess if you want to play with it, the link over here is the short link to the query. So it's just like it's going to end up with the same result, but it's easier for you to go in and play with it.
Yeah, one can see the query before it has
Yep.
any
Oh,
results.
no, that's not any.
Something else.
That was something else from the last week.
We are sending secret messages here with queue numbers.
Yes. So here's the query as I saw it here. CP and large and capital P. And now let's see here. The description of this one. No, this is not the one, because this is something else. This is, oh, and you can also see on the map it's further away. So that was not the one. So there's one other here that I'm looking for. How far down are I? So not this one, perhaps this one then. 17.3. Let's take a look. Let's paste it over here. No, this is also on the side.
Yeah.
So we're going to need some of these in the middle here. Maybe I should have queried for the number so I could see it. Maybe it is this one. 17.7. Copy. Paste. A little bit of research here. Yes, this is the one. So here we can say it is, well, what is Helresning in English? So it's an inscription in the stone, and it has two ships. And there's we have a very defined style for these, and you can actually see those in this image here. And you can't see them in any of the other images on Commons. So this is a nice find. And it's also a nice find because I think this is one of the older images. So if we go into the details here.
It should be.
No, it's not. So it's from 2014. I thought this was uploaded by the...
Yeah.
So this is actually... Oh, full circle. This is an upload
Oh,
from
right.
2014. So someone took an image here and saw the big one, but they also caught the small one, which is so nice. So we're gonna go, and I'm copying here from the URL. And which one was it now? 56, this one. All right. So here we can go and we can add the image. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The image is exactly what I want to do. This is the one.
Lovely.
And I think that's going to be it for me. So I merged an item and I discovered an image that we already had and could add it. But most of all, this is a very nice type of query that you can play around with.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Lovely.
So now we're going to see some new images, I guess.
Yes, because I have been working a lot on things that happens behind the scenes on Wiki Loves Monuments that makes it work. And therefore, I haven't yet uploaded any images, so I'm gonna show that off. And I'm this type of person who Wiki Loves Monuments for me doesn't start in September. It starts in October, and then I do like Wiki Loves Monuments walks, trying to go to monuments, photograph them, document them. And the thing is, I'm not a good photographer at all. I'm quite a terrible one. But most most monuments in Sweden is actually not that much of a very artistic monument of any kind at all.
No.
So I just take pictures for the sake of documentation, making sure that there is always images that kind of describes and shows what this type of monument is even if it's like even grown over by vegetation. I take an image so that people can know, okay, this is a monument that is overgrown with vegetation. And that's another great purpose of Wiki Loves Monuments. It's a large photo competition, but it's also documentation part, making sure that the monuments we know of also have an image.
That's very good. Can I just share my screen a little bit just before
Yes.
because it touches upon that. So in this Swedish register, we have this archive material, and
Yeah.
there's like the actual notes. And here we have one of the originals, and I like the last sentence here. So it's overgrown with 2 birches, 1 rowan, and 1 what's an juniper. Yes. So more or less like what you did, but he didn't have a camera. He wrote this with a pen.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you go around with a good camera. So,
Yeah, and this is also something that changed. I mean, the vegetation changed. They might build something there and things like that. So I always think it's a good idea, even if there are images prior to yours.
yes.
Another common thing I see a lot of people do, which I really appreciate, if, for example, there already is an image of this church in Wiki Loves Monuments, but there are still details on the church you can capture that might be very interesting for many people. Like, this is a very old original door. Take a photograph of that, because for many people that says something as well. You should be surprised by how many people who cares about church doors. So I'm gonna do some uploads. My first this year. I'm gonna continue later on. I'm gonna go to this really nice service we have on Wiki Loves Monuments, wikilovemonuments.org, which is maps.wikilovemonuments.org. I'm gonna go directly to the map. Thank you for the URL there. And I'm gonna scroll in. I happen to know where this monument is, so I'm gonna upload some photograph I took last winter. I forced my 2 younger siblings to go to an old hill fort together with me in the middle of nowhere, no roads, not anything. So here we got it. It just has a queue number, but it happens to be old hill fort. So I'm gonna go to it, and it has this Here it actually displays a label. It doesn't have an image because also it doesn't have any roads nearby or things like that. So I'm gonna select my files. I don't think you can see this, but I'm essentially selecting 3 files I want to upload.
All right.
And there is a couple of other tools to do Wiki Loves Monuments upload, like lists on Swedish Wikipedia and things like that, and a couple of author maps. But one great thing with this particular tool is that it adds what I believe is a very good file name by default. It includes the identifier for the monument and things like that. It does, however, not let you select the license, which the official one nowadays lets you do. But I'm okay with that. I would prefer a more open, in my opinion, license. But I would go with this because it's just so simple. And I can, by hovering here, I can preview the wiki code it will create.
That was nifty.
Which is really neat. I can see that it has, I can't hover it because then it is spread, but it says full minute, which means monument, and it has this identifier to specify which one it is. So I'm just gonna click upload, and it will do so. Let's see what edits we can make following this. I'm thinking some structured data on commons, and I am thinking some Wikidata. Let's just first go to the Wikidata entry. See if it added image. It did not. Then we have something we can do. Let's just find these images. The easy way, as far as I know, is by going to my contributions.
Go to the uploads. It's even better.
My uploads, right?
Yes.
And it didn't display them there.
It's not done yet?
Is it doing something in the background here? Instead, I'm going to go to Seems a little odd. This is the first one I do this year, so there might be hiccups. It's not created yet. I wonder what's going on here in the background. Oh. Right. Then I don't know what's going on here.
Nope.
I will instead upload the author way around. As I said, I do Wiki Loves Monuments walks. I got more images to upload. I'm just gonna go to the right page. That's not the right page, or is it? It is, I believe. Find an object that I want to list. Category with list of ancient remains. That's the one.
Yes, per municipality. So 300 to scroll.
I happen to know in which one it is.
Yep.
Or I believe this is the one at least.
And then by parish, was it Floda?
I believe it was Floda. It usually is.
Second one.
It's the second one.
Yes.
21.
20:1.
Yes. We got a link to the database, which Jan has shown, and I can just click this image here. I can see that it hasn't one. A hill fort without an image. Let's see. I think my upload might go on in the background, so I'm gonna add another file of the same monument. I happen to have a fourth one, which I saved. It's not a good, not incredibly good one, but it's still descriptive in my opinion. Right. It doesn't win any competition, but it says a little about.
Yeah, we can't all win.
Exactly. Let's see if that rotates it. It's rotated on my computer. It is not rotated here.
It might do it in the last step.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it like that. If it's not rotated later on, I can click the request rotation button.
There's a tool, of course.
Oh, there is a tool as well.
Yes.
Of
Now you get
course.
a chance to choose the license.
Exactly. So this is a new thing this year. I can use a different license, and this is not a good image. It's just a descriptive image. I'm gonna release it under CC0. Do whatever you want with it. I would be very happy if someone were able to do something creative with it. Fort.
Doesn't like the colon. That's weird.
Right.
Because there is a colon.
Hillfort wall. It's all during the wall actually. Oh, it was in December last year. Yeah, I started early, as I said. We got an identifier. It's already filled it in from the list.
That's very nice.
Can I pick a location here? No, I can only show it on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna publish it. Great, it has been uploaded. That's the URL I want, or I can click the link.
Yes.
Yes, here it rotated. You can see it's not a very good image. It would need some cutting actually, but it shows this Hillfort wall very well. Let's see what it did here. It has the license. I want to see what structured data it added. It added no structured data. I forgot to upload wizard added some nowadays. Okay. I think we then want to add some. I think the easiest way to find some examples then would be to go to last year's upload, because I think there has been a bot running on those. You can see last year's is already here. Here's something I uploaded for last year, also during one of my Wiki Loves Monuments walks. Let's see. And here we got some structured data here. So I just want to use this as an example. Sadly, this is not shared under CC0, but I imagine copyright license I can at least add.
But there will come around a bot for this.
Yes. Yes, actually,
you're stealing the work from the bots here.
I'm stealing I am one of those. I'm actually gonna run some bots myself. So, yeah. I'm just stealing edits from my own bot.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But first of all, this is something you don't need to do this for. Wiki Loves Monuments data. I don't think a single edit you will see here you will need to do. For example, I will now add the pics for Wikidata. That will happen by bot at the end of Wiki Loves Monuments. Still, it's still very practical if you're not doing Wiki Loves Monuments uploads. So I'm still going to show it, and I'm gonna use my fancy copy QID button here, which I'm very proud of. To just copy paste my QID here like that, because it depicts that particular Hillfort. It's simple as that. We had a copyright license.
Do you think there might be an item for Hillfort walls?
I do not think so, but let's see if there could be a qualifier to make it more distinct.
Add some human value on this.
Exactly. We need to beat the bot at something. Add qualifier. What could it be? We could do depict walls part of the Hillfort, but I still think we want to...
No, I think you want the Hilford first.
Yeah.
You just do
What if we do wall and then do part of, so we got both of them?
Mm-hmm.
So here we got part of, and then the Q number again, so the Hilford. Would that modeling be okay? I think so.
It might be.
Yeah, I think it's a totally editable statement, so I'm gonna do it like that. Oh, let's see. Part of is not a valid qualifier depicts the only...
Aha.
Oh, that's a good one. Shown with features.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That was a helpful
Yes.
message.
It's
Like it.
very helpful. I wish it would, when you click here, that it had a drop down with the most common qualifiers and commons. It would be lovely.
Yes.
But let's shown with features wall. Publish changes. That's a great way of doing it. We got something similar here. An entity with copyright license should also have a statement with copyright status.
Yes.
Copyrighted, dedicated to the public domain by copyright holder. Thank you.
Yes.
Still another one, very, very useful.
Yep.
One here.
Yeah.
On Wikidata, they are okay-ish.
But these are retrieved from Wikidata?
Yes, they are all retrieved from Wikidata.
Yes.
But it seems like the modeling has been a little more controlled there.
There's been a lot of discussions about how to do this. And if you have any input, you go to Commons structured data.
Yes. There has been a lot of workshops even before structured data and Commons launched.
Yeah.
Okay, gonna publish that. Hopefully it will fix this one. Oh, it disappeared directly. That's lovely. Gonna add creator as well.
Oh, aha. Well, let's see if you can figure that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. It was a bit of a trial and error here. If I can add this, I'm gonna show it how it was modeled again. You can see that it has some value and then used only qualifiers. And I'm not sure if that's possible in the
I don't think that's possible in the UI yet on Commons. You have a 3 dots on the right?
Right. Oh, I can do it.
That's new.
That's not... Yeah, I have been doing a lot of structured data editing today actually on Commons, but I didn't notice this one. Some value, lovely.
Nice.
That's actually a really good interface. I in general prefer how you add statements on Wikidata, but that one is a very good one. Let's see what we got here. Outer name string, okay. My username, okay. Let's do that. And again, you don't need to do this. A bot will do it. And hopefully in the future, the upload wizard will do it.
Yes.
Other than that, we got Wikimedia username, which happens to be the same. As my credit line. The URL for my... Oh, that's a lot of URLs. Oh, it's up there. Location of a resource. And it's my Commons URL.
All right.
For some reason. And we had a last one. Object has role photograph. So
Ah, that's nice. So if you have a more complex kind of work, you could add more people with different roles.
I imagine one case I had a while back was we uploaded a long report to Wikimedia Commons. We were a lot of people involved in different parts and things like that. People were authors, some people were editors, some people were just
Proofreaders,
doing
perhaps.
or just doing the graphics, something like
Yeah.
that. Great way of credit everyone and not only.
In a very clear way.
Yes. Oh, lovely. And actually, this illustrates very well how much time bots will save you.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
I guess if any of you who are watching, if you have uploaded any images to Commons before, you have probably seen in your watch list that the bots are running constantly, adding this kind of metadata to your images.
Yes, exactly. So, for example, this one, last year's Wiki Loves Monuments, a bot has been going over it, added a lot of data here already, which we based our own edits on, and this is the case for all my Wiki Loves Monuments uploads from previous years. And it happens with every edit. It's just standing in queue right now, all of these bots adding data. Some files have it, some have it not.
Here's an interesting question from Gert. You can name also the original architect of the building. And I guess now we're coming into probably not, because that will be on the Wikidata object item. So the structured data on Commons should be about the image, not the things in the image other than depicting.
Yeah. Most times, yes.
Most times. There are, of course, exceptions because the real world is messy.
Yes, exactly. So we could add in this particular image, I wonder, for example, we wouldn't have a QID about a particular tree. We would just say tree, and then we could state the species and things like that below it. Actually, we would do the species and do count, but yeah, details in modeling. But there are things, for example, that does not go on Wikidata. But if we happen to know the architect behind this hill fort, which we do not, in this particular case, we would add it here as architect. I know a case where it's common in Wiki Loves Monuments are, of course, in Sweden churches, where we often know the architect, and it would be in Wikidata. Yeah, that's very easy. You saw the list, but also this application. I guess I will then next week see what happened to my images I uploaded with this tool.
Can you check your uploads now if they have been?
Yes, it's a great idea.
Going on in the background. So there's your
no.
No. They're stuck in some sort of limbo.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've heard great things about this this monumental Wiki Loves Monuments maps from other people, so I'm sure my files will appear somewhere.
Seemed very smooth.
Yeah, and it worked, and it did some type of upload. It might be stuck in between somewhere. It happens. It also happens, for example, I think me and a friend last year, we tried to upload a video to Wiki Loves Monuments, and it was a really, really large drone video. I think it was like 5 GB large, and then you actually need to tell someone to go on the Wikimedia Commons server and manually upload it and things like that. So things get stuck sometimes.
Yes.
I think that's it for me.
All right.
Let's see. We just want to check the Wikidata item for this particular. So we can actually add an English description, for example.
Yes, that would be helpful.
Hill fort in Södermanland, Sweden. I think we discussed this last time when we In English descriptions, always added Sweden, but in the Swedish description, we wouldn't.
No,
I don't think if there's been any more discussions of that.
no. I think technically it wouldn't be wrong to add it in Swedish either, because of
No.
course you might have someone learned Swedish without actually knowing the geography of Sweden.
I see. I just got a question here. How I got this button? It was actually I do a lot of copying the QID on.
I think most
do
people
that.
do.
So I double click it and I click copy, and I can save 2 clicks there. I was thinking. So this is a user script. I think we got a time to show off.
Yes, we do.
How to install it. So every user has something called common.js. So it's, if you're on your user page, go to the URL, type /common.js, and here you can write custom JavaScript that can add functionality to Wikidata or Wikimedia Commons or wherever you are. And you can also import what Orchard people have written, scripts Orchard people have written. So I have one here which I'm importing from my own user space, OpenStreetMap.js, that gives you a link if there is an OpenStreetMap Wikidata tag on their platform. I got some integration here with Mapillary, not sure what that does. I got something from another user here to move claims. I think we have shown this.
That's a good one. Yep.
And yesterday, actually, as soon as yesterday, I wrote this copyqid.js. So I wrote my own user script to just add that button to save me those 2 clicks. So if you want to add this, you have to go to your common.js file. You need to click edit source, and you have to paste in that URL, which I'm gonna share with you, like that.
Yes, awesome.
That's the URL. That's what you need to enter, and you will get that QID button, and it works very simple. I'm gonna illustrate it again. What it does. Gonna go to Earth here. Gonna let it load correctly. Gonna click away something else, and copy QID is copied, and now it's on your clipboard. You can paste it, and you will got it. It saves me those 2 clicks, but it does it that very well. I'm not sure if I'm lazy or if I'm very efficient.
I think we should do a feature request for this to be site-wide.
Yeah,
it would be a simple little thing that everyone would just click and use.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, so that's it. It's very simple for you to install. It's a little more complex on my side. I just want to show what's going on behind it as well. You can see I did a lot of edits in my JS file yesterday. So on my side, it's 30, 40 lines of code, making sure that all of this works. Trail and error. I'm afraid it's too technical for this type of stream, but no, it's really easy to reuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Awesome. And let's see. Yes, and we have another show coming up next week, and that's going to be a special one. We're going to do the same like we did in, I think it was in episode 7. 8. It was episode 8. So if you want to go back and watch, you can get something sort of similar. We did a Wikidata dojo, which is a relay editing thing. So we're going to have, I think we're going to be 7 in total that are going to do some editing. And it's going to be next Friday evening, connected to the global climate strikes that are happening the same day.
Yes. So a lot of new faces here.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of new faces, and some you have seen before.
Yeah.
And and we're going to mix it up a little bit with the format. So last time we did it, I think we did it 7 minutes each and switched. But then we felt like, oh, I want to do a second take because so we're going to try to do it 3 minutes each and switch it and then go back and have 2 rounds of everyone. So
Yeah.
it's going to be probably very lively,
Yeah.
a little bit messy, but hopefully fun.
Yes.
And
I'm looking very much forward to it.
Yes. So book your Friday night. It's going to be 8 o'clock UTC, so in the evening. So grab your popcorn or whatever you like.
Grab your snacks.
Yes. And we'll see you in a week. And bye for now.
Bye.